Okay, so step one, we got to get the wheel off the truck, got to get the lower control arm off. We're going to see if the strut's okay. It should be. Everything looked good when I looked at it initially. And try to see if we can get this truck moving and pull it off trailer under its own power. So here we go. First things first, we're gonna get the wheel off, maybe have to jack the truck up a little bit. I'll try to get as much as I can in here. It makes it a lot harder to film and do the work. And this truck has to be built in 5 weeks. We are taking it to Canada on a fishing trip. Let's get after it. This is the kind of stuff you can't see. So whether that wheel was good or not is not a question anymore. Now we know that it's bad. The question will be, did it hurt the tire any? So we're gonna try to get this tire off here. It comes off from the other side, so hopefully that didn't hurt enough, but definitely a bad wheel. So to get these loose, you hold this. That's an 8mm. So an 8mm on here, and then that's an 18mm there. Put your wrench in tighten, not loosen, and that'll spin it the opposite direction. Yeah, get that brake line loose from that. Do a check out of that. Yeah, that's in good shape. No problems there. That looks good. It's got grease. There's no cuts on it. So our upper control arm and upper ball joint appears to be in good shape. Crescent wrench fits everything. And these are not super tight, so you don't really have to worry about stripping them off. So brake line caliper bolt is a 12mm. Again, not very tight. Let's go ahead and work on getting the inner fender out of here and out of our way. All right, inner fender's out. This is a junk axle. Don't do this on a good axle. If you can just tap it out of the, what was spraying me? Oh, brake line spraying me. I was like, what's spraying me? Because when I hit this, it's moving the caliper and I'm getting sprayed by brake fluid. We need our brake kit disc as well, so we'll save this. The heat shield is off, we'll let it out of the way. I'll take this whole assembly out of here. That seal has a metal ring around the outside and the metal ring is bent. That doesn't bug me. What bugs me, if you look right at the tip of my finger, right there's a little deflection in that seal, which is going to cause it not to seal right on the axle, which could create a leak. I'm going to go ahead and put the axle back in to get the truck movable, but we will have to take this axle and knuckle and stuff back apart to replace that seal because I didn't order it. From now on, whenever I put an axle in, you put a seal in. It's just good practice. Anybody see an issue right here? Yeah, the bottom of that shock, which is connected to the coil spring, is bent, and you can see the gap right there versus the one down here. This is off, so that's going to get replaced. What the hell is that? That's the drain tube. What the hell is sticking out of the drain tube on the air conditioner? That was stuck right there like that. Okay, guys. I don't know where that piece of plastic came from. That's suspect. So you can see where water runs down right here. They had issues on some and they'll take and put a 90 so it comes out and down, but what do you think about a drain tube dripping right on top of a freaking coolant pump? Think that's a good idea? I kind of feel like we need to add the drain tube and run this over where it drains like down in here. Boy, this thing's a lifesaver, guys. If you haven't tried one of these, there's no kickback, no reaction. They're kind of pricey, but man, I just took those loose without any effort at all. That was so easy. So this brake line's sitting here dripping, driving me crazy. So if you slide the nut back and get a smaller vacuum cap, you can slide it up on, until you drop it right in the grease. That's great. Right in the grease. Slide it up on the actual line. That'll seal that off until it's ready to go back together. One bolt, 2 bolts. Some pry on this. Front a little bit too. Drop the front. All right, there's the A-arm. See those ears? They're off a little. I don't know if I got something straight edge I can hang upon us. This ain't really a straight edge, but you can kind of see there how straight it needs to be down. So those two ears are pretty straight now. So we're in good shape. Now we can see if we can fit the new A-arm back up in the hole. And call me hard-headed, but that's the way I am on this one. Okay, it's acting like it's wanting to go in. Yeah, it's sliding right in there. Just needs a little tap with a rubber mallet. You just gotta do all this at one shot here. That worked out right. Torx Plus has a different shape. You see the rounded edges on that? That Torx Plus has got more holding power than the regular Torx. I don't know how many Torx sockets I've broken off, but they went to these Torx Plus and they hold up a lot better. But the last two I've done, I've ended up putting a wheel bearing in because they made noise. Anytime they're hit in the wheel, it Brunel's the bearings inside that hub and you end up replacing them. So we went to Rock Auto. We were able to get an axle and a hub from, I believe it's like GIS Auto or GS Auto. All right, so check this out. This is the Ford nut. There's the GSP nut. Considerably bigger and more beefy. I don't know, might be better. This might not even fit in the hub. We're gonna find out. You notice how that axle is rusty. This is an OEM one. Of course, this hasn't been machined, so it's gonna have the mill scale from the production environment. This is nice and machined. That's nice and machined. That's nice and machined. They do not paint these axles. What happens to material when you don't paint it? You start surface rust. Does it hurt anything? No. When you buy a $90 or $80 or $70,000 truck and you crawl up underneath of it, and this has been sitting in the weather for a month, that's gonna have a surface rust on it. Do I love it? No. Should I clean these off and spray paint these right now? Possibly. Am I going to? If I did on this right side, and then we come over here and we look, see how the surface rust? That's very normal, very common. I don't love it, but it's the way it is. All right, so when you're putting these axles in, there is a little ring right here, and this goes up inside the axle, and this compresses and snaps into place. It looks like it's all the way in. And that's what they're supposed to do, go in until you kind of feel it click, and it's not wanting to pull back out. See that movement? I'm feeling a dead stop on both sides. So it's in that C-clip in its groove. All right, we got that. And we'll get our, there goes that. Grab your nut, put it up in here. I'm not worried about it coming loose on me. So you just insert this, the axle, get the axle lined up with the splines. Stop cutting that. Well, the GSP has got their stuff figured out because that went in nice, very nice. And let's check if their big nut, it looks like it's designed to fit their housing. So that's pretty nice. I like that so far. The only thing that I'm noticing about that is the thread or the flat engagement is bigger on the Ford nut than it is on the GSP. But they both have nylock inserts, so that might be good. And once you clean these, it's best if you don't touch them with your hands. Way. Just look at the size of the bolt. The bolt's massive for a brake caliper. I mean, I've seen those that are 10 millimeter before on a Ford Focus. And I'll start it with this, get it going down good, and then I'll finish it once I get it on the truck so the bracket's holding it in place. So then we're going to put this new link on. This one's not a Ford one, it's a TRQ. I mean, that's not the exact same. The backside of those are a little different, but I think it'll work. It's just ready to put the tire on and see if this sucker will move under its own power. So see this truck under its own weight for the first time in a while. Well, she's got her own weight on her. Yes, the tire's off, tie rod's bent. We got to order one, the inner tie rod, and we'll swap that out. We're gonna get the scanner, clear the codes, put the 12-volt battery back in it, and see if we can get the truck to put in gear and move under its own power. That'll be a kind of a milestone. Hook up, let's see what we get. Here it coming to life. So we're gonna leave that for now. Let's get the scanner now, find out what we get inside. Lots of codes, guys. Lots of codes. But it's time to finally figure out if these codes are real or if they just what happens in a wreck. Because my experience is these are just what happens in a wreck. So now we're gonna go in and scan it. It should have a lot of codes. This is all ABS stuff. Air conditioning control module. These low volt battery voltages are because it was completely dead. We're going to do cleared DTCs. Let it sit here and clear all these codes out, and we'll do a battery reset again, and then hopefully everything starts working. Let's see if the truck will start now. No. So we've reset the codes and we still have 4 or 5 codes. Nothing that looks crazy, nothing I haven't seen before, but still not wanting to start. So we're going to disconnect the 12 volt and possibly get 4-scan or FDRS and dig in a little deeper and see if we can figure out why the truck won't run. Okay, so we reset the 12 volt battery, disconnected it and reconnected it. And now we have the truck on. So you can see the green light is active. I still have a lot of codes. I still have a stop safely now on some of these codes, and it's probably because right now I drained the battery, or I'm sorry, I drained the brake fluid out, and it's not happy about that. But when we put it in gear, it goes into drive, and it's trying to move. So the truck's trying to move. That's a really good thing, but we still have all these codes. So blind spot system fault, that's probably because of the mirror, because there's some stuff in the mirror. Like you see down here in the corner, the one that bugs me is the one with the truck on the right side with a little exclamation point. That one bothered me. The airbag and the cross detection and all that, that's all because of the way the rest of it's hooked up. But the ABS is probably not happy because it's out of brake fluid. So probably need to see if we have any brakes at all, which I do have a pedal. The pedal's working, but we'll have to see if we can get the truck off the trailer and then get it in the shop and try to work on the brakes and get everything else that wasn't functional again.